The silence of the desert is never ordinary. This silence hides secrets. And within that secret lies a name whose erasure shattered empires. The grains of sand saw an old man approaching, but the enemies saw a storm advancing. He was not a king. He wore no military uniform. There was no crown upon his head. Yet all of Italy trembled before this one man. There was no sword in his hand, but in his eyes lived a faith strong enough to silence cannons. His name was Omar Mukhtar, but the enemy never called him by his name. They called him the shadow of the desert that never sleeps. When the Italian army arrived with modern weapons, they thought it was a game of just a few days. They had no idea they were about to face a teacher. One who did not teach from books, but taught through experience. In the darkness of the night, when soldiers slept in their tents, the desert spoke, and in that voice only one name echoed. Every attack was unexpected. Every strike became a question, and every question was answered with Italian corpses. Years passed, armies changed, generals came, generals failed, but one thing never changed. That old man with a white beard and a resolve harder than iron. When he reached the age of 70, the enemies rejoiced. They said, "Now he will grow tired." They did not know that faith does not count age, and freedom does not recognize fatigue. Finally, one day, fate sided with the enemy. The horse was wounded, and the desert handed its secret to them. Handcuffs were placed, but his hands did not tremble. A cloth covered his eyes, but his gaze never lowered. The court was assembled. The verdict had already been written. Death was waiting for him. The judge asked, "Will you ask for forgiveness?" The room fell silent. And then came the sentence. That still lives today. We will never surrender. Either we will win, or we will be martyred. September 16th, 1931. The rope was ready. The ground was filled with people. Fear was the goal, but they did not know. They were not hanging a man. They were hanging an ideology. The moment the platform fell, the body became silent, but the desert spoke. And even today, when the wind moves across the sands of Libya, some people say they heard a voice, old, powerful, unyielding. The price of freedom is blood.